up, YouTube? I hope all is well with you because things are fantastic with me. Today I'm going to be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7, Episode 9, Divine Inspiration. I really enjoyed this episode, and so I'm just going to get into talking about it. They enter into the workroom, and it's still the top 7 queens because Trixie is back. Now, I'm personally excited to see Trixie because I felt like her elimination was ridiculous and whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, Trixie's not going to win. So why did they bring her back? That's what I was thinking in my head, but that's neither here nor there. So anyway, we get to the mini challenge. And the mini challenge is like my favorite challenge ever. It is the reading challenge. Yes. So when it came to the reading challenge, I enjoyed it. It's so weird because since the reading challenge started, the best reading challenge I think was season 2, which was the first one. And like, I don't think anyone has topped the first reading challenge since its birth. Well, not the birth of reading, but the reading challenge. I will say that everyone did a pretty good job. Everyone's pretty funny except for Miss Fang. Miss Fang, I'll give it to her. She put in so much emotion when she was reading, but her reads were horrible. They were terrible. But you couldn't tell her nothing. She had on her sunglasses and she was really trying to throw shade. But she didn't throw anything. Like, it was bright in that room. No shade to be seen whatsoever. But the winner of the reading challenge was Trixie. And I think they gave it to her because they're like, yay, you're back. Let's give you some confidence. So they gave it to Trixie. And the challenge, the Maxi challenge for this episode is they wanted to give a tribute to the director, Johnny Waters, which is a director I've never heard before. And I know some people are going to be like, what? You've never heard of Johnny Waters? No, sure haven't. But it was interesting to see some of the inspiration for the scenes and stuff, because I'm just like, he seems like he's a cuckoo, crazy type of guy. And I'm into that when it comes to his movies and stuff. So I would like to see some Johnny Waters movies. I just haven't heard of him. But they have 3 scenes that are musicals that are inspired by Johnny Waters films. And so the first scene that they had was Eggs, which is about someone really loving eggs. The second is Cha-Cha Hills, which is about someone really wanting Cha-Cha Hills for Christmas. And the other one is about poo, in which someone really wants to eat poo. So weird. Anyway, so because Trixie won, he got to pick his partner, and his partner was Ginger Minge. And then the other 2 groups were Kennedy and Katya, which I thought was going to be a very interesting combination indeed. And then they had Fame, Pearl, and Violet together. So Trixie and Ginger had the egg scene, in which it's such a weird scene because it's basically a baby, but it's like a grown person acting like a baby, wanting eggs, and they're like in a cot, just dirty and disgusting, and then some hooker type lady, which was Trixie, comes through giving this baby, which is Ginger, eggs. And when I saw the scene, I was like, this is okay, this is that special. And yeah, that's all I got. That was just special. And when they were singing it and doing all the theatrics behind it, sorry, I felt like they were doing a pretty good job. Of course, they had some flubs, but they were singing it live, and they just learned it, so I feel like flubs are inevitable. And it was clear that Ginger was outshining Trixie, like, so clear. But Trixie just had to keep up. Then when it came to like Cha-Cha Heels was between Kennedy and Katya. And initially, Kennedy wanted to play the woman that wanted the Cha-Cha Heels. And then Kennedy was like, that takes a lot of singing to do that role. And she was like, yeah, I think I can do it. That's Katya. And Kennedy's like, okay. Katya is like reading through it and she's like, yeah, no, I can't do this. So they switch roles. And I think it worked for Katya's favor because even though the role was supposed to be the role of the mother that she got was supposed to be the more subtle role, she made it absurd. And so it just became this ridiculous, awesome scene because Katya, like, basically heightened it, which I give props to her for that because she thought outside the box. And the whole scene was just hilarious, even though Kennedy couldn't exactly remember her lines all the way. But through the scene, like, it's supposed to be Kennedy's upset at her mom, Katya, because she didn't get Cha-Cha Heels for Christmas. And so ultimately she throws this little temper tantrum, and then at the end throws a Christmas tree down on her mom. And that's the whole scene. And like, it looked like they were doing a pretty good job. It's just Kennedy was like not doing well with her lines sometimes. And like I said before, this is normal because they only have like half a day to rehearse this stuff. So you're not going to get it perfect the first time. Then there was poo. So in poo, Violet was the person that wanted to eat the poo that was on the street. And then Fame was the devil that was telling Violet that she needs to eat the poo. And then Pearl was the angel that was telling Violet that she didn't need to eat the poo. And that was the scene. That was special. Like, first of all, it's gross. And then in the scene, like, everybody had their little outfits and they looked good. The only thing is they had like these big old bellies, I guess, to signify that they needed to poo. But like, it wasn't necessary because you're not talking about pooping, you're talking about eating poo. So why would you make yourself like poo pregnant? So like, I wasn't here for it. And clearly none of them have a really strong musical background. And so their timing was off. Their emotions to the material was completely off. Like, Pearl is supposed to be this angel, and she's just acting like, I don't know, she's acting like Pearl, basically. But you should know her mundane attitude that she has. And, I mean, I say it every week, and I'm still going to tell you every week, I still don't see it for Pearl. Like, everybody loves her, but I think, okay, she's a cute queen, but she's not as great as everybody makes her out to be. And it's frustrating to see her get through this competition because I just don't feel like she should be here. That's just my opinion. You guys can, hate on me all you want. Don't care. That's how I feel about Pearl. I'm glad I got that off my chest. And then there was Fame, who has no acting chops whatsoever. She's trying to be the devil. And you can tell that she's trying. That's the one thing I appreciate about Fame. She was trying, but her best effort it wasn't cutting it this time. Like, she's gotten the realization of the character so off. And so, like, it was just weird. And then Violet, I have no idea what she was doing. She wasn't as bad as Pearl and Fame, but she still wasn't that great. So when it came to the runway, the theme for the runway was, what was the theme for the runway? I can't remember. It's bad. Hold on, I need to find out and remember. I'm going to look it up. I'm so lame, you guys. I know, I'm really, really lame. Oh, the ugliest dresses. That's the theme. So they had to wear their ugliest dresses. Forgive me, that was terrible of me. So that was the runway, like ugly dress realness. So we're just gonna go down the line of who did what. So first we're gonna go off with Ginger Minj. She had an ugly dress. It was like green. It was ugly, but it wasn't like ugly, ugly, in my opinion. Anyway, then there was Trixie. Trixie's dress, I mean, was it ugly? I can't remember. It's been a few weeks. Forgive me, and I should have looked at this before doing this recap. But it wasn't anything that like jumped out at me. It probably was ugly. Katya, on the other hand, oh, she did ugly down. It was like ugly but fashionable. Like she had the hot mess hair, and then she had this crochet dress. I was just like, Katya, like you're killing it. Good for you, girl. Then there was Kennedy. Kennedy had like the old lady church dress, which is an ugly dress. And so I thought she did a really good job with it. And her characterization with it was hilarious, in my opinion. And I enjoyed it. Miss Pearl. Okay, like I said before, I don't see for Miss Pearl. She comes down with this like baby doll dress. Like I guess she was trying to give Harajuku realness. Like she had Trixie makeup on with like, you know, the big eyes and the severe blush. And then she had this baby doll dress on, and then she had like the thigh highs. And she looked cute. Like it wasn't ugly at all. So it was just like, what does that mean? Okay. So dumb. She did not follow the assignment. Okay. Then the next person was Miss Fame. Miss Fame's dress was ugly, in my opinion. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's high fashion, though." So, but it was an ill-shaped dress. The one thing that it did do is it had this like neck, and it accentuated how long and slender and beautiful Miss Fame's neck is. But other than that, it was an ill-fitting dress, and I thought it was ugly, and I thought it fit the assignment very well. So I thought she did a good job. Her makeup was on point, though. She was beat. That's for sure. Then there was Violet. I felt like Violet was the best because it was ugly, but she made it like fashionable ugly. Like it was like this rainbow mess. That's all it was. And she came down that runway and she was working it. Like she was just like, yes, it's ugly. Take all of this. Yes. And I have to say, I just enjoy Violet. Like she has not done anything wrong on the runway ever. Like she's flawless. She's the best, like, I feel like in all 7 seasons. I said it, yes. She is even better than Raja. I said it. But when it came to the critiques, it was clear that Pearl and Miss Fame were going to be on the bottom. Because, okay, we see the final videos. Which one did we see first? We saw the Cha-Cha Hills one first. And I enjoyed that one the best. I thought it was the best one. Kennedy was hilarious in that segment. She got into full character. She got into full hissy fit mode. And then Katya was just amazing, being this crazy deranged mom. And there was a part where she's just got her legs in the air and she's just splitting. It's so great. And at the very end, when Kennedy throws the Christmas tree down on Katya, Kennedy, the last scene with her face, she just looked like this. It was the funniest thing ever. And I enjoyed that video the most. That was my favorite video. Then there was Eggs with Trixie and Ginger. And I felt it was okay. Like, it was good. Like, Trixie was out-acted by Ginger. Ginger did a really good job as the Eggs person, and I give her props for that. She did really good. And Trixie was kind of like, okay. Excuse me. Like, she was clearly trying to keep up with Ginger in the scene, and you can see that in the scene. But it was good. Then the poo scene was just really, really weird. The only part that I liked in the poo scene was the very end when they say cut, and then Pearl kind of just like walks off, and she's just like, thank God this is over. Because I agreed. I was like, thank God this is over. So that was like the only thing that I didn't appreciate is both Violet and Fame. They decided that they were going to do that thing with their tongue all. It was just strange. Like the whole thing was just strange. And they clearly didn't know what they were doing when it came to their characters. And you can tell. So, but when it came to the winner of the challenge, the person that won was Ginger. And I personally don't feel like she should have won. I personally feel like Katya should have won that challenge because I felt that she did the best. That's just my opinion. And I feel like this season that Katya has been so unappreciated because I feel like she does a fantastic job in almost everything she does, and it seems to be always overlooked. Like, they don't gag over Katya like they gag over Pearl. Like, all the gagging they do for Miss Pearl should be transferred over to Katya. That's it. So in the bottom two were Miss Fame and Pearl. And they sang, oh, by the way, the guest judge was Demi Lovato. And she's got such pretty skin. I love her skin. It's so smooth. Good for her. But they sang a Demi Lovato song for the lip sync. It wasn't good. Like, not many of the lip syncs this season have been good. And this is another, like, yawn fest. Like, if I had it my way, I would have eliminated them both and just said bye. That was stupid. Bye. But because they left Miss Pearl got to stay, and Miss Fame was eliminated, which I'm not sad about. Like, even though I love seeing Miss Fame's face, I think that she's so gorgeous and she's so beautiful, and I love her personality, and she's so kind. I felt like she wasn't given it in the challenges enough. Like, she should have been gone weeks ago. Like, I don't know why they kept on saving her, because she wasn't pulling her weight when it came to the challenges, and she needed to go home. So I was sad to see her go, but I wasn't sad to see her go because she needed to go. So that happened. And then I don't want to talk too much about Untucked. The only thing I want to talk about with Untucked is it was just hilarious how Kennedy was so like a grandma. It was really funny. Like, she was just laying out on the couch, legs wide open, panties showing. I just thought that was so funny. But Untucked isn't as dramaful as it used to be in the past few years, because ultimately I don't feel like the queens hate each other. I think they get along pretty well, as opposed to queens from other seasons. Like, there hasn't been an outward hate towards a particular queen, except for Jasmine, but she was eliminated really, really early. So, I mean, there's not much hate there. But yeah. Like I said before, I guess I should say who I feel like the top three is going to be. It's inevitable. It's going to be Pearl. It's going to be Ginger. And it's going to be Violet. Something tells me that Ginger is going to win, but I really want Violet to win so desperately, because I feel like Violet has been the best, just overall. So even though she didn't do so well this week, I feel like Violet should win anyway. So that's it for this episode. I hope you guys are doing everything you need to do in order to have a happy, successful, and healthy life. And I will talk to you later. Bye!